Hello there, guys. It's Mr. Maximo here. Vinny Sandu for the European Cricket Network with another match preview for a European Cricket Series match. And of course, this week we're in Cartaxo, Portugal for a 5-day European Cricket Series. This is a match preview for match 9. It's the first match of Wednesday, the 23rd of September between Alvalade and Royal Lisbon. This game will start at 7:30 a.m. GMT, which is 9:30 in Central Europe. It's 1 p.m. in India. And as always, you can catch the action right here on the European Cricket Network, whether that's through our website, ecn.cricket, or our YouTube channel, ECN European Cricket Network. And of course, if you're in India, you can catch it on fan code. And just a reminder, if you don't already, why don't you follow us on European Cricket social media, whether that's through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, of course. You can also subscribe to the ECN European Cricket Network YouTube channel. You've probably done that already if you're watching this video. You can also download the app in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. So follow us at European Cricket, or you can follow me at Mr. Maximo. Let's have a look then at what's coming up from Cartaxo, just north of Lisbon in Portugal. Wednesday is the third day of action. It's a 5-day tournament. As I previously mentioned, we have 4 matches. The first 3 will be quite close together. Then there'll be a little bit of a break, and the 4th match will start at 8:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. It's the second last day of preliminary matches, because on Thursday we will have our final 4, which will take part on finals Friday, and one of those teams will lift the trophy in Portugal this week. We certainly have seen some interesting and entertaining cricket so far. Let's get to match 9 between Alvalade and Royal Lisbon. We do have some likely lineups for you. So Alvalade will have Raul Mohammed leading them onto the field, with Abdul Qazi to be behind the stumps, while for Royal Lisbon, their captain is Sukhvinder Singh, with Manjeet Singh to be their wicketkeeper. Let's talk a little bit about these two teams. Well, Alvalade, they have won 1 and lost 2 of their 3 matches so far. They played all 3 on Monday, and they didn't play at all on Tuesday. So they were highly fancied, but lost their first 2 matches, and they lost them pretty badly, you have to say. They did not play well, particularly in that first match. So they're currently outside the top 4, but they will want to be in it by the end of today, because they have their final 2 preliminary matches on Wednesday against Royal Lisbon and then Amigos Ansiao. So they were one of the contenders for a lot of pundits before this tournament began. It's so important they turn their fortunes round on the Wednesday here, because it's their last chance to get points and push themselves into the final 4. And if they do make the final 4 and gain some form, I still think they're a chance of being the winners this week in Cartaxo, but they'll have to play better and they'll have to do it fast. Royal Lisbon, well, they're without a win after their first 2 matches. They played 1 on Monday and 1 on Tuesday. So you'd think this is a must-win game for them to have any chance of featuring at all in that top 4 on finals Friday. And they've rung the changes, bringing a couple of players into the team who I will mention in Mr. Maximo's 11 to watch. But I'm going to begin with Alvalade, and for them, I've super highlighted a couple of players. And the first player I have super highlighted is their captain, Raul Mohammed. So he is considered one of the most accomplished batsmen that Portugal have produced. And he is their leading run scorer in the tournament to date. And his best innings was 57 off only 25 balls against Oeiras. And we've seen him bat at number 1, number 3, and number 5 so far. But I do think he is best up the top of the order, where he can have the biggest influence on their innings, because he has looked the only player really to be in good form. He's also been pretty good with the ball. He's picked up wickets in every game so far. So Raul Mohammed's such an important player, and he'll need a few more players following his lead and contributing to the team effort if they are going to feature towards the end of this week. I've also super highlighted Parveen Singh Jr., who is a pretty useful left-arm seamer, and he can also bat in the top order at 3 or 4. He looks very good in scoring 35 off only 12 balls in their successful chase against Rossio on Monday, and that was one of their few bright spots on what was a very disappointing day for Alvalade. I've also got a couple of further players there for Alvalade. Abdul Qazi, the keeper, who we've seen opening the batting. Now, he hasn't made a very big score so far, so he'll hope to make one soon. Otherwise, they may look for more options there, particularly people that can go over the top in the power play. I've got Ranasawa in there. Now, there were big raps on him, but he hasn't fired just yet. He was my star player for match 1, but he underperformed. He had a horrible day on Monday, scoring only 2, 0, and 5. Now, if you put that in your phone, you'll probably get put through to Birmingham, Alabama. So it is an area code, but it's not a great sequence of scores in the ECS. But I do think he will come good at some stage because he can hit the ball a long way. Perhaps he was just trying a bit too hard on Monday. And I did get quite a few comments about my star players not performing. And look, that can happen, especially in T10. And sometimes I think the players see themselves as star players and feel they have to do something special, or perhaps try and hit the big shots too early. And look, that just shows you the pressure of being Mr. Maximo's star player. Not everyone can handle it, but I hope that Runner does better in the next couple of matches and we see what he can really do with the bat. And he's also a pretty handy bowler as well. I've got a medium pace bowling option there in Ahmed, and also I've put a shadow player in there. I couldn't quite fit him in my 11 to watch, but I did want to mention him, Arslan Nawaz. Now he will open the bowling and can provide some big hitting in the middle order. Royal Lisbon, I have highlighted some of their players as well, starting with Manjeet Singh, who opened in their first match, but I do think he is likely to bat more like number 4 in this game because they've brought in some opening batting specialists. I've got Amandeep Singh and Navjeet Singh, who are the 2 new players who come into the side and are expected to open the batting, and they have a big responsibility because Royal Lisbon couldn't break more than 100 in their first couple of matches, and they do need to put a big score on the board if they are going to put Alvalade under pressure. And we have seen Alvalade's batting be a little bit inconsistent at times, or very inconsistent at times. So those 2 have a big job on their hands, Amandeep Singh and Navjeet Singh, coming into the side. And it's not going to be easy because this pitch does seem to have a bit more in the bowlers compared to some of the pitches we have seen in the European Cricket Series so far. So let's see how they go. I've got a couple more all-rounders there. I've got Parvinder Singh, who has 2 wickets this week with his left arm seamers, and he also normally bats reasonably high for them. I've got Jasbinder Singh, who will bat 3, and he's yet to get a wicket in the tournament, but he'll hope that changes. Finally, I've got Sukhvinder Singh, their captain and national team player. He has 3 wickets in the tournament so far, although he's been a little bit expensive. But then again, most of the Royal Lisbon bowlers have. Now, I do have a couple of adjustment substitutions for those of you particularly playing some Dream 11 cricket because we are short a batsman and a bowler. I have put as possible substitutes Arslan Ahmed, who will probably bat 5 or 6 for Alvalade, and I've also put in Gursavak Singh, who can bowl some off spin. Now you'll have to bring those players in for a keeper or all-rounder somewhere. I would probably favour taking out one of the Royal Lisbon keepers or all-rounders, but really it's up to you guys. Juggle those players however you like. If you are playing Dream 11, try and get the lineup that you think is going to do the best. But I've tried to put a few options out there for you today. Now, ECN.cricket is a great place to go if you want some additional statistical information or to look at the scorecards to help you in making your decisions. But that is all I've got to say in my 11 to watch today. So, prediction time. And I did mention star players, and sometimes they perform, sometimes they don't. And that really is all up to how it goes on the day. So as someone said in a comment to me, and thanks so much for the comments, you win some, you lose some, and that's true. I also had some comments saying, and messages saying that they appreciate the analysis I put in. They don't always do exactly what I say, and that is fantastic because this is all just meant to stimulate some thoughts and some discussion about the games. And some people might disagree with me, and that's fantastic as well, because that's what it's all about, is the debate and learning more about the way this cricket is played and learning more about these players and teams. So like I said, go to that ECN.cricket website if you want to find out more. I'll leave the link in the description for this video. But for this game, I have risked it all again on Alvalade because in the first match they let me down big time, but I don't think that will happen again because they've had a day to think about their performance and they do have the quality to improve. I think we'll see a resurgence from them on the 3rd day of the tournament, and I can't see Royal Lisbon standing in their way, although Royal Lisbon do have some talented players. I think Alvalade will be on a mission. I put their captain Raul Mohammed to be the star player because I've liked his contributions with bat and ball. So that's all for now from me. We hope you can join us on the European Cricket Network because there's so much cricket coming your way. We have another European Cricket Series in Germany next week, but more of that shortly. Stay tuned to European Cricket social media if you want to find out more. But for now, this is Vinny Sandhu for the European Cricket Network saying enjoy the game. We'll see you next time on ECN.